Article 1420 states that, in case of a divisible contract, if the illegal terms can be separated from the legal ones, the latter may be enforced. Before we dive into this article, let us keep in mind that divisibility between contracts and obligations differ from each other. Divisibility of the former talks about the contract's cause, while the divisibility of the latter refers to the prestation or object. For example, once upon a time, a sneakerhead went abroad and made a deal with Nike that it would pay them $1,000 monthly and that the company, on the other hand, would deliver to him first-hand limited edition shoes. In this case, their contract is indivisible because there is no way you can separate this one whole contract. However, the obligation of Nike is divisible because they can choose what time of the month they would send him the shoes, which kind of shoes, and whose shoes would be sent, Jordan's or Kobe's. However, if we tweak this situation wherein they had a contract stipulating that the sneakerhead would only pay every time a pair of shoes would be delivered to him and would only pay the amount equivalent to that specific pair, then their contract is divisible and their obligations are likewise divisible. Diving in, Article 1420 applies only if a contract involves several stipulations, terms, or conditions and is therefore divisible. If some of the stipulations in the contract are illegal while the others are valid, the valid stipulations, if separable from the illegal ones, shall be effective and enforceable. There are two situations wherein the rule of divisibility or separability cannot be applied. First, it shall not be applied when the contract, by its nature, requires indivisibility. For instance, if a consideration is entire and single, the contract is indivisible. If part of such consideration is illegal, the whole contract shall then be void and unenforceable. Second, if the party's intention is for the contract to be entire or indivisible, then the rule of divisibility is subject to the contrary intention of the parties. Let us understand Article 1420 through a real-life example. Zen sells to Sam 1 case of sparkling wine and 12 sticks of marijuana for consideration of 500 pesos. Now, the question is the sale divisible or indivisible? The answer for that question is, it is indivisible because there is only one consideration, the 500 pesos for both 1 case of sparkling wine and 12 sticks of marijuana. Now, the second question, is the contract void or not? The answer for that question is, the entire contract is void because even though the purchase of 1 case of sparkling wine is legal, it cannot be separated from the 12 sticks of marijuana, which are illegal. Accordingly, no part of this contract thereof may be enforced. However, if Sam has a change of heart and instead of paying for a consideration of 500 pesos for both items, he insisted on paying 300 pesos for 1 case of sparkling wine and 200 pesos for 12 sticks of marijuana. Now, the question for that is the sale divisible or indivisible? In this particular situation, the sale is now divisible because both items can be paid in separate amounts. The part that is legal is capable of separation from that which is illegal. Now, for the last question, is the contract void or not? The answer is, the legal terms of the contract may be enforced while the illegal terms are void. Hence, only the sale of 1 case of sparkling wine is legal and may be enforced,